Morning. I'm Victoria Savage, Nurse Savage on your side, your wisdom guided oracle, and we're having coffee in my beautiful mug that's got my logo on it, which is for solar power and says open, willing, ready, guide me. That is absolutely the stance that I would like you to consider in this potentially very provocative video subject. This is Inauguration Day. It is also Martin Luther King Day. And it came to me that very fitting for these to be happening on the same day, not because of division, but because of a bringing together. I know many of you believe that Trump is the Antichrist, that he is, the worst thing that could have happened. The world is coming to an end. And the world as we know it is coming to an end. And I believe that he is part of that disruption that is going to cause it's not like a main event. It's not like this is it, we're done. It is a shift into a new way of living. Is he the savior? No, he is a catalyst. And I truly believe that if Martin Luther King Jr. was still alive, that Trump would have placed him in a key position, because it is a smart move to bring together as many things, many facets as possible. And really, that's what this reading is about today. But again, this is all about us and how we work the internal. We have a Chinese New Year coming up on the 29th, which is the year of the wood snake. Snakes are all about transformation, shedding the old and allowing the new to be seen. This is a year full of transformation. And the animals wanted to come through big today. The guides are here and have been all morning. It's been an interesting morning. It was an interesting night full of interesting dreams. And so I woke up just a little out of sorts for me. And so I'm going to turn on my chat or move it to be seen. If I can see it. Good morning, Susan. Great morning. And so what do the guides want us to take away from this? Good morning, Jonathan. Grand rising. I love that term. It reminds me of my friend in Hawaii, Johnny, who when you leave, he'll always say, go easy. And certainly I'd love you to consider ease in this guidance that we're receiving, because it very much is a central theme, a balance. So the first card, the artwork in this deck always slays me a bit, but I love the messaging. The thinking man. This is about going into the mind, but going in with a balanced perspective of that masculine take charge energy, because this is what we're going to need to do on a regular basis moving forward, taking charge of our own, being responsible for what we carry into this world. And this whole shift that is happening throughout the world is going to keep kind of rocking us off our center. I always tell people, I don't speak a lot about my political views. Some of you probably have divined, but I am just left of center. Balance, balance, balance is absolutely the key to moving forward within your own peaceful existence. Because remember, again, we are sharing constantly whatever energy we are in. The far right is incredibly divisive and toxic. The far left is incredibly divisive and toxic. It is moving to the center where we find a balance, where we can come together. These two endpoints cannot meet in the center. They must come to a place of closer to center in order to even have a conversation. So the next card that came up was anxiety in reverse. This is the time to responsively take hold of the anxiousness you're feeling. One of the dreams I had last night was that all of a sudden there were bombs being dropped around my town, but they weren't being dropped on anything perceivably that could be killing someone. They were being dropped like on our shop and out in the middle of pastures. And then this woman came into our house and she was so arrogant about um, about the point of these bombs being dropped, which was to keep us in line. And then I went into another crazy dream about me being on some game show. It was a marriage game show. And I was on the show, yet I'd been married 42 years, and I was giving advice to the other participants. A weird array of dreams, a very restless night's sleep. And so I didn't wake up anxious. I woke up, puzzled. But there is so much anxiety in this world, and it is time to work through your anxiety with whatever tools you have at your disposal. I have one that has been given to me as a way to discharge emotions, and that's the doing of these mandalas that have been coming through, and using that tool for very different reasons. And so this is one way. Maybe it is just writing in your journal that can put down that anxiety. Whatever it is for you, move it through you. Ask to be brought to a place of inner peace, inner balance as much as you possibly can. Because again, we are constantly sharing wherever we are on that continuum of vibration. I'm going to have to put my glasses on to read. Jonathan said, "It's so good to see you. I'm listening to my wisdom guided oracle. I finished my coffee, but I do have donuts." Jonathan, mine is actually Thai tea right now. I've been drinking a little coffee, but that's come into my purview as a way to have a treat because I've been eating carnivore. I'm sorry to say it's been very effective on the pain body. It is not my favorite way to eat, nor do I believe it will stay with me, but I committed myself to 2 months to see how this physical suit felt. I'm assuming there will be some adjustments. I don't see myself continuing to eat like this forever. But truth is, I don't do anything forever. So anyway, the Thai tea has given me a different kind of treat. Julia says, my 25-year-old niece had a heart attack yesterday. A blockage was cleared and she's in cardiac ICU. May I ask for healing for her? Please, all of you who see this, send that beautiful young woman healing to her broken heart. For every physical, there is an emotional thing that has happened. Maybe that heartbreak didn't happen for her in this lifetime. Maybe it happened in a past lifetime. Maybe it is ancestral, the heartbreak of her ancestors. So I ask that you send to her your healing, loving intention and prayers so she heals from this completely and learns what is here for her. These big shakeups in our life are for our learning and growth. Maybe in the very physical sense for her, it's a different way of eating. Maybe in the very emotional sense, it's a looking at how she's journeyed through the world, what she's experienced, what she's brought in, and who she allows into her field. We don't know because we are not living her life. We are living our own life, and it is up to us to create the balance in all areas. Kind of like this eating carnivore, just meat mainly, is not balanced, but it certainly has decreased my pain by about 90%. So I could really see the things that were affecting my body. Allison, thank you, Julia. Please send your prayers to Allison. You have to do what is good for your body. I'm not mad for nor judging. Balancing is key, as we were just agreeing upon. Not far right, Carney, not far left, Herbie. Exactly, Jonathan. Thank you for your input. It's so lovely to see you again. Jonathan is my incredible spirit brother that lives in the Midwest, and just an amazing energy and amazing soul. We don't get to play together much, but occasionally we get together here. So I'm so grateful for that. So the next card, the animal that came through, is condor. You're too enmeshed in this situation. So step back and see the bigger picture before making decisions and taking action. This is, I talked before about getting the observer view in your life. Ask for the observer view about this world situation. What is my part to do here? Um, how can I see differently how I might positively impact this situation going on throughout the world, wherever you are, whatever the situation that is weighing the most heavily on your heart? That is what you are to address. You don't have to address everything, but you want to get up. It's like I'm so much in the forest, I can't even see trees. That's what enmeshment is. It's like we want to get above so we can see the forest and what lies beyond it, what that next part of our journey is. I went to the Women's March here on Saturday. I'd never been to one before, and it was very much like I thought it would be. It was very peaceful, and there was very, very near balance energy in this march. Very much, a women's rights march, which is very much in my purview. And I live in a very red state. And so I'm not a real activist. And as I stood there, this old energy that I have, which is hyper responsibility, came in that I should be doing more. I should be up on this. I should be. And it's like, that is not my nature. My nature is to be the balancer, the purveyor of energies. It isn't to be an activist. It's never to be an activist. And yet, what happens when that old energy comes up in me and says, you should be up there doing more, you should be more involved in this, anxiety overtakes me. It's too much because I can take on way too much responsibility in most anything I do. But that's not my circus, not my monkeys. That is not for me. Mine was then, I did go into the shedding of peace, the shedding of light, the shedding of clarity on that crowd and those who were going to be viewing what was being said, all of that. That is my job. And that is what resonates with me. Other people's opinions about what you are doing here isn't your circus, isn't your monkeys. They have never walked your shoes, your past lives. They don't have your ancestors' energy within you. You will, if you keep tuned in with your guides, angels, companions, open, willing, ready to be guided, you will be fueled with the desire to move forward with what your truth is, what your job is, what your passion is here. Your passion is where your path is. For those people on the steps Saturday, their passion was activism. Mine is not activism. That is actually, again, maybe past life energy that promotes this gut-wrenching fear in me to step into that field. It makes everything in me very tight. That is how I know it is not my field. Our journey, our path comes with ease and peace and a pull to move towards. Jonathan says, yes, I know it's been a while. Forgive me. I have been here in Germany for some time now. So the time zone difference is interesting. Oh, Jonathan, I love that you're in Germany. I will be heading to Ireland later this year. My Irish sister and her husband are coming here in May, but we are going to do some land work in Ireland. I love that you are there. I'd love for you to reach out privately and just let me know what you're doing, what's going on with you there. I would love to support that. So the next card that came up is Ladybug. Now, this is a very, for many of you be going, what? This doesn't sound right. This is a time of good fortune and abundance. So be willing to receive all the good things in your life. Amidst chaos, we can still have joy. We can still have peace. And we can have the abundance and goodness when we are in balance within ourselves. We can receive all of that. One is not exclusive of another. Because chaos and lack happens in the world does not mean that we are charged with living in that as well. We must live our truth, our center. Keep coming back to your center, connecting with your higher powers. The next card that came up was Journey. in reverse. This is a time of when it's going to seem like you're not going anywhere. That is also, yay, thanks, Jonathan. It is also that time to really just sit with, get quiet, do your own healing work. Again, the things that trigger you, you want to look at and start teasing apart, start moving out of your field. But you kind of have to, I see the work I do with people is we identify energies, and then we pull them apart until they're very thin fibered, and then we release them. That means we fully dissect them. We get inside, we find out where they came from, how they happened, and what it is they've produced in us. And then we can let it go, and we can bring in what we desire in the place of that, because we never leave a void. So this is the time that this isn't a big fast forward in your feelings, especially movement. This is a time of inner work, a time of slow down, a time to really do you, because again, you are the sharer of your energy. How this all unfolds, this chaos that we are entering into, continuing with, we can affect on the edges of it, how sharp it comes in, how sharp does it have to be. The next card that came up was Angel of Strength. Call on that angel of strength. Call on your angels, your guides, your companions to give you the strength to continue to do your inner work. Allow that to be true for you, that you can be the purveyor of peace in this world of chaos, of love in this world of divisiveness, which the press absolutely wants to keep us divided. I don't care what side you look at, those are some pretty dark energies on both sides because they seek to divide. If there is division being propagated, you know they are not of the light, of good, of love, of peace, of the truth of what is really going on, because that divisiveness keeps you in fear, and fear is easy to control, and that is always what is being wanted. The next card that came up is Boar. This is face your problems head on. Do not bury your head in the sand anymore. Allow you to really jump in with both feet and go, I'm willing, I'm open, I'm ready. Bring it on, and bring it on with a way that I can withstand it and work with it to heal it. If you allow yourself to get bombarded and too overwhelmed, it can be very painful in many ways, emotionally, physically, spiritually, to do this work sometimes. So ask them to bring it through at a way you can handle it with the greatest balance and peace. We are always seeking balance and peace. And then the last card is the Grouse, and the Grouse is very innocent in its self. We taught our girls years ago out in the wilderness camping once. We came across, we were going up a path, and there were 3 baby grouse in the pathway. And my daughter, we had chicks at the time, and my daughter reached down to, like, don't touch them. And we looked around, and there were 3 grouse in the tree. And grouse show their selves in mating by this beautiful dance they do. We also taught our daughters that if you were out and you were hungry and you had problems, and you had the ability, you would shoot the grouse on the bottom, because the other 2, they're not the smartest evasive birds. They would think that as long as they hold still, you don't see them. If you shot the top one, then it would disturb the 2 bottom ones. But at any rate, this is express yourself through rhythm and movement by drumming and dancing. This is all about your intuitive aspect. Put on handpan in the morning. That is the loveliest music to just flow with, to just bring you to a place of ease and allow the movements of Gaia, of Creator, to move through you, to get to that quiet place. The quiet place is where peace can reside. This Gemini mind is challenged in getting to a quiet place. It is always in thought, but the more I choose to put some effort there, the more quiet and the greater the insights that come through and the awarenesses. So this is a very interesting reading about how to bring opposites together. Regardless of what you think or believe politically, this is a time of great tumultuousness on both ends. The press is always going to be feeding you something to keep you divided. And I can guarantee you, in all of this stuff on YouTube and Facebook, there is so much untruth and unreal. These pictures of a man sitting in the lap of a polar bear because he saved him from the ocean. Blah, blah, blah. Like, oh my God, those are the things. Just keep your inner intuitive self on high. Trust your gut. What you feel is not right for you is not right for you. What you feel, I mean, this video may not be right for you, and that's okay. Take what resonates with you and leave the rest. That is you living in your gut. I can guarantee you there's 100,000 creators out there that do resonate with you. So if this one does not, move on. Look for what does. Not keep you in chaos and fear and division and anger and self-righteousness, but what keeps you in the middle in peace. I think we are complete here for today. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Victoria Savage, Nurse Savage, on your side, your wisdom guided oracle. Go easy.